And now we are on to our second part of the program, which is the prepared speeches. Normally, we will have the evaluators to present the speaker's objective, title, and the speakers themselves. So we're going to do the same thing tonight. So our first speaker does not have an evaluator, so I will be doing the introduction for her instead. Our first speaker is Patti Adams. She is going to be presenting her Level 5 Project 1 in the path of effective coaching. It's titled High Performance Leadership. Her objective is to deliver a speech to introduce the plan or a vision of a project that will be completed with a team of at least 3 other members. The title of her speech is Passing on Knowledge. Passing on Knowledge, Patti Adams.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Evening, Steve. High performance leadership track. You know, if you know anything about running, when you run, there's a lot of preparation that's involved before you can be an elite track star. Well, with Toastmasters International, one of the most important speeches that you will give is based around your high performance leadership track. Now let's take it this way. When you're in the meeting, you serve on minor leadership roles, such as counter, grammarian, timer. But these do not take a whole lot of preparation. For the high performance leadership track, you have to select the vision. There's tasks you have to delegate, goals you have to do, and you have to get a guidance committee. So there's a lot that's involved with the high performance leadership track. For my high performance leadership track, I chose club contest. Now let me tell you this, I know that the club contest has already happened, but to be frankly, life happens. And for me, life happened. And so I had quite a few deaths in my family, which caused me to really not want to give any speeches or not even want to participate. So I'm still going to do my speech because I want to get credit for it and because I think that you guys will enjoy it. So let's get started. In order to be a good leader, there are some certain things that are required of you. You want to have a vision that is defined. You want to make sure that you demonstrate your values. You need to have a clear direction, which means, of course, to establish goals and establish priorities and to delegate responsibilities. You want to be persuasive in your approach. In other words, you want to be able to be so persuasive that others will want to join you and get on your team. You will need to have a good support. In fact, for the high performance leadership, you have to select guidance committees, and the guidance committee will basically give the leaders feedback as the time goes by to help them to make sure that they're on track with their leadership skills. You want to have some development that's going to be a part of your speeches, but you want to challenge your team members to give their very best. And most of all, don't ever forget about appreciation. Leaders need to show others how much they appreciate them. Now, club contests are so much fun. I've always loved club contests. And if you're a contestant, no problem. You study your speech, you go and you give it, you win or you lose. And then there's the guests who get to come and they get to sit back and they just get to relax and they get to eat little delicacies and little pastries as they're watching you give your speeches. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that nobody knows about. I'm gonna go over a couple of those things just to tell you how involved taking care of a club contest is. There's a lot of organization and planning. For one, you have this huge manual. It's like 28 pages long that goes over all the different rules of the different speeches, such as international tabletops, evaluation, tall tales, and so many more. And then it gives you the checklist for the contest chair. Oh, okay, so much for that one. And then you have your speaker's eligibility form. The speaker's eligibility form is all about making sure that you're in good standing and your club's in good standing and that you are a paid member. You have a biographical form. Oh my gosh, it's so many forms. This is important for you to fill out in order for you to have the contest chairs ask you questions at the end. So they get to know a little bit about you so they'll know effective questions to ask. Yes, I'm throwing these away because there's just so many forms. It's an administrative task to be a leader. You have your timers report, kind of what Jimmy is doing today, where you have to record the times. Oh, and then there's those ballot counters who has to count the votes to tell who won for the contest. Are we done with the forms yet? Oh, and then we have the judges' eligibility, code of ethics. I mean, you have to be a person who is acceptable in order to be a judge. And these are some of the hardest roles to fill. You have your judges and your ballot forms. This tells you what you're going to be judged on. Are we done yet? Okay, we're not quite. Then there's a speaking order. We don't get to select what order we speak in. We have to be assigned the order of which we're going to speak in. At the end, there's a notification window that we have to send to the area gov. I mean, my gosh, if that doesn't help you to be a leader, I don't know what will. You have to create an agenda. Oh my God, an agenda, yes, because when the guests come, they need to know what the order of the meeting is. And let's not forget, for all those winners, we need a speech contestant participation award. And if you're really good and you're in a physical venue, you get to have a trophy. Wow. I'm just tired going through all that. But you know what the best result is? Is at the end, you get this incredible speech that comes together because it was well organized and it was well planned. Carmen served as the VPE for this year. She is now our president. And one of the reasons I wanted to take on this challenge is because I wanted to help her to make sure that HKMBA had the best contest that we've ever had in the past. Now, for the high performance leadership track, it's two parts. The first part, you basically give your vision, you tell what the high performance leadership track is about and what we need to do to go forward. But there's also a B part. So I am counting on each of you. Come back, because in a month, I will do the second part of the high performance leadership track, and we'll see how all those papers and all those things came together to make a successful contest. I give it back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Patti.